Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ajay Sudhir Bale, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome today's guest, Dr. Balu Ora, founder Liquid Cubes, InnoCommerce Bangalore. We welcome you, sir. Brief bio about the presenter. Dr. Balu Ora has a PhD in Chemical Technology from ICT Mumbai, formerly UDCT in 2007. He has expertise in knowledge of personal care and home care R&D, 15 plus years of industry experience in product innovations, scale up and process engineering, formulations, novel claims and substantiation, product brand support, consumer research and insights. He has worked as associate scientist, ITC, senior principal scientist, Dabur, and head R&D, male grooming at Marico, and launched several brands. He is currently the founder, Liquid Cubes InnoCommerce Bangalore, co-creating product innovations for startups, contract R&D for MNCs and corporates. So once again, welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Ajay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Um, Hi, everyone. I don't think I would be able to have a conversation, right, Professor? I mean, is that going to be interactive, or I shall go ahead with the presentation?
You can start the presentation, sir. In case the students have any queries or any questions, I will mute my mic and I will ask you the questions.
Okay, that works. Yeah. Can we see the slides? Yeah, shall we go ahead? You can see the slides, right? Okay, super. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And once again, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'll try to be very kind of specific in designing this topic for you. Uh, and what exactly we are going to discuss today probably is to discover how to turn your innovative ideas or innovative technologies for into a kind of successful businesses by embracing entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is something like probably I would try to explain in a very minimum possible way to make you understand what is the difference between entrepreneurship and innovation, how we can take those skill set in designing successful businesses around. So the agenda for the discussion is going to be like how to identify the opportunity, business opportunity for you, and what is the value of empathy. Since we are into FMCG, product journey, I rather take you through how we design products from idea to prototype to the scale up and then to the commercial. So it gives a kind of understanding for you how you can navigate an idea to a kind of possible commercial business. And what could be the big problems which we can solve, and I take this opportunity to take you through certain case studies, and then we can probably have a kind of interactive session so that I would be able to understand where you are and what kind of innovations you are into, maybe require certain insights which we can discuss thereafter. So entrepreneurship is about is about to turning your ideas and what exactly excites you in life into a capital gain or into a kind of money or assets, and that you would be achieving as because as you like it, and therefore the more you do that, and the better the success is going to be like, and how you can take it forward. So for example, I presume that you are into electronics or into IT, and therefore, say for example, you know certain coding and you are master in it. You probably would think of integrating that to the latest trends of AI, and would want to start up a kind of services where you would solve certain problems in the industry. So you may want to start something like a technology company where your expertise can be showcased and give services to the other industries. Or you, if you think you are good at in creativity, and you are good at design, and probably you can think of creating your own studio and then freelancing with industries which in terms of data visualization or maybe in digital marketing. If you think you are good at networking, you and social skills, and you may want to start a elderly care kind of concept. If you are passionate about the products like the beauty care, and it's good to have a cosmetic company for that example. And if you believe that you have the deep knowledge or science and chemistry, and you may think of starting something or solving certain problems, or maybe venturing into pharmaceuticals. And why not means you are a mechanical engineer or electronics engineer, and you can even think of colonizing moon tomorrow. So I think this is all about the way you understand your abilities, and how you can take your skill set to launch something which you like. So it's all about turning your passion into profitable business, and how you can basically use your creativity to solve big problems, and therefore your dreams into a reality. So entrepreneurship is a process of creating and managing businesses, and to achieve certain goals, profits, and then it's also about taking risks, and integrating a kind of innovation element to it to boost your idea, and make a difference in the market. So innovation is about your new ideas, or it could be a product or a services industry, and the major objective of innovation is to create value, and to drive a positive change. So, for example, like you all might be knowing Elon Musk, and the SpaceX, the innovation element in SpaceX is all about revolutionized, and developing a technology which help the rockets in a kind of reusable, and therefore significantly reducing the cost of space missions. And the entrepreneurship is something like transferring this technology to the relevant companies, and earn from it. So this is the basic difference. Say in a different example or different category, if I have to say, so there are technologies which I mean, companies, design, even research institutions have gained lot much of progress is on how to capture the carbon emissions. And entrepreneurship is that using the technology, and you can capture the pollutants, and convert them into certain products like synthetic fuels or chemicals, or certain building materials and all. So As a student, I mean, in my view, I think there are few things which we have to be learning in the journey, is that one should reflect what your interest and your passion is all about, and probably you are good at your engineering, and then try to see how best you can use your skill set in prototyping something, and then, or maybe solving something which is useful to the society or useful to the business. And it's all about assess your skill set, so that your skill set and strengths are most important. And once you reflect on what your strengths are, and it is easy for us to navigate how you can use that to build a business. One should be so empathetic, and empathetic in listening and observation, and search for something where the opportunity exists, right? And also, I mean, this is the domain where you have to be always stay updated with the new trends and opportunities, like possibly in your area, and find out what are the next trends, or the research or advanced research is happening in the domain. And if you have identified certain problem areas, and possibly brainstorm with others, maybe with your friends or with your professors, and identify how you can solve a problem. And you can also attend network events where all the startup co-founders would assemble, and you may get an opportunity to talk to them, and gain something from their knowledge and from their experience, and solve problems with innovative ideas. So once you are good at identifying the problem, and you may need not jump directly trying to solve the problem, but rather try to see
ನಾನೇ ಕುಡಿಯಲ್ಲ ನೋಡು ಸ್ವೀಟೇ ತಿನ್ನಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಈಗ ಓಕೆ ಬಾಯ್ ಹೋಗು ನಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬಾ ನಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತೀನಿ
market demand, or the feasibility. When you say feasibility, it should be commercially feasible, and and even the consumer should be happy using. Once you are clear about your idea, maybe you want to prepare and test it out, and then let's see what level of let's see visible at your end, and you can always fine tune thereafter. Mentorship is something which definitely helps you, because the student's journey is more theoretical. You possibly require some guidelines, and some help from the experienced supervisors, and therefore mentorship is so important for you in your career. Take actions by starting it small. So don't think of starting a startup, and immediately looking for ROI or looking for profits. But it's all about starting small and then scaling it up. Team building is most important. So associated with positive, like-minded people, and you can scale that up further. I have something to tell you about how one can reflect your own interests or the passion. So there's a tool which you are aware, and you can use it to what we call it as SWOT analysis. It's all about understanding your strengths and weaknesses, and your opportunities and threats. Say, for example, you are a student, and venture in business, or maybe you want to begin with a startup, then it's very much helpful for you to understand what your strengths are, and what's your other weaknesses and opportunity space. So for example, you are you are studying something and you must be good at your subject, and around it. It's also very much essential for us to understand what our weaknesses are, and weaknesses in the sense like it's for us to see how we can make use of your strengths and solve something which you believe that it could be a challenge for you. For example, the business knowledge is something which you gain as you get into the business. So at this point in time, you probably want some help to gain the business sense and financial literacy. I don't expect all technical guys would be having the financial literacy at this point in time. And obviously the marketing skills is something like it comes over experience and networking abilities, and also uh, so is mapped on your strengths and weaknesses, and maybe that would help you to gain knowledge over how you can better address your weaknesses with your strengths. Opportunities are something there's a lot much of research communities or mentorship programs available at your colleges, so make use of that. And most of the colleges have nowadays incubators, so you have an opportunity to use the infrastructure out there available. And there could be certain funding options as well for you to evaluate and make use of that. I won't say threats per se, but it's about the potential challenges which are from for something which you have to be aware of. For example, there could be certain legal or regulatory norms which may not allow your idea to get into a kind of commercial. So you must be aware of that, how you can how you can address that, and there could be certain academic related constraints for you at this point in time, and the financial resources. So this gives an understanding of how you can make use of your abilities to start with something which you are good at, and how you can navigate further. I will take a kind of a case study. As I said, that since we are into FMCG, what I mean is that fast moving consumer goods. So it's like about all about product design, and what I try to attempt to take you through the journey of NPD, new product development, and how we generally take an idea to prototype to scale up and then commercialization. So it would possibly give some understanding of on your journey, and how you can make use of our prototype or protocols which we follow. I hope it's going to be useful for you in a way. So when I say the journey of product designer, and the empathy comes first, and it's most important for any product designer to start with. What exactly it is that when you design a product, and there should be there should be an user, I mean there should be a consumer for it, right? And it's so essential for us, whether you are building a product for a consumer or you are building a product for yourself, and it's the clarity is most important. So it's about the designer's ability to understand what the consumer's feelings or their perspectives and experiences. So you cannot have a product if there is no consumer need, and it's very all our ideas are very near to us, and we believe that our ideas are really good, and we believe that our ideas are going to be winning for sure. But it is also very much essential for us that the consumer would take your idea, and they believe that you have done a positive change in their life journey, right? It also involves recognizing their needs, and probably you must be coming up with an idea where there is no consumer requirement at all. And if that is the case, it is going to be very challenging for you to sell your idea or to market your idea. And empathy helps in a way that when before design your product, and if you can talk to people around and spin out your idea and then see whether there is an actual requirement, and would they give attention to your innovation, and how that is going to help them out in solving certain the gaps or the needs which they have. And therefore the empathetic listening and understanding the consumer's perspective, and recognizing the unspoken needs of the consumer is very much essential. And so I'll give an example. Why I'm saying this is that since we, as I said, that we have been into consumer products for many years, uh, and I'll just tell you about one experience as a product designer we had in the past, and and what kind of experiences we encountered there. So we identified a problem, and we wanted to build a very luxurious shampoo, right? And this is as simple as that. And we thought, we would be doing this product with plant-based chemistry. We should not be using any synthetic chemicals in it. And we thought we would give more of infused with more botanicals or natural ingredients, because India is very known for Ayurveda, and we thought it makes sense for us that age-old chemistry, if I can infuse there, and that would definitely give benefit. And we also substantiated certain claims saying that this shampoo would definitely do good for you, and it gives the strength or the nourishment or the conditioning which is required for the hair, which is very natural. And we also expected the kind of benefit out of this product, since we haven't used any chemicals, and certain claims we made. We said that it is vegan, we said that it is no synthetic chemicals I mean exists in that. And we might have taken all necessary precautions in designing this product. What exactly has happened is that you since your idea is good, you said that many other shampoos or the hair care products available in the market or very synthetic, and that may damage your hair, or that may not allow hair to grow beyond. And then we thought, since we would be using botanicals, and that would definitely give a benefit. So it's all at a kind of hypothesis you have, and you liked your idea, and we started building that. And when we went into the market, and what we ended up having is a failure, knowing that the people started complaining that there's a hair fall, and there's a dry and frizziness. And we really didn't understand what could be the reason behind it. And therefore it is very much essential for us that what we believe may not be true at the product development stage, and it is very much required for us to evaluate your idea with a target group. I mean, whom you are addressing to, and here in this case it is the consumer. Uh, so the point here is that if you have an idea, and if someone says that or the questions it, and it's very much important for us to reflect on your idea, and then evaluate, and then see what are the gaps in that, and how you can address that even before the launch of the product. So here in this case, what exactly has happened is that the root cause we identified is that we designed a product which is for the consumer, but we didn't understand there are certain other challenges associated with that. What essentially has happened in this case is that the geography which we were working has got a very hard water. So, I mean, the reason is not because the shampoo design is filthy, but it's because of an external factor which actually cause a negative feedback of the product. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to be very open to understand the other. I mean, it should be a kind of out of the box thinking that what could be the other reasons which can affect the performance of a product. As I said that here in this case it could be a shampoo or a consumer product, but in your roles it could be a digital app or a software or anything of that. So you can correlate the scenarios accordingly. Don't expect that the idea is going to be winning immediately or the moment you launch, but there could be certain iterations required, and there could be cases where you can't even imagine where the problem is stemming from, and it's essential for you to be very empathetic to listening and looking at the feedback and understand what could be the root cause for a particular problem. So what we did is that since we identified the root cause and we went back and then we tried to understand what's the chemistry behind hard water. Hard water, when I say, it is the water which has got high mineral content and so beyond a certain percentage of minerals, we consider this as a very hard water. And when you have hard water, what actually happens is that there would be a buildup of or the scaling of minerals on your hair, and that would eventually lead to hair fall and many other complications. So since this product being very kind of natural, we didn't use any synthetic molecules which tackle hardness of the water, and therefore the problem stemmed out. And we identified the root cause, and then how to find a solution to this. Again, as I said, that it's listening to the people, is listening to the consumer. It's talking to them and try to see how I mean, what kind of lifestyle they have, how they use the product, and there's a lot much of possible questionnaire, and you probably would want to go and then look at the practices which they do, and it really helps. And one of the consumers said that they to tackle this problem they use mineral water. I mean, that's the quickest way they had that point. I mean, this case study was way back many years ago, and therefore we thought, I think, why can't we have a product which actually tackle the hard water. So therefore, the idea of hard water relief shampoo. So you won't expect the water quality everywhere is same. So probably you would be launching a product in Bangalore, and you can't expect the same kind of water quality somewhere in Bihar, for example. So it's about having a product which works across. You can't be very specific to a particular geography or kind of, right? But probably once you identify the problem, you can think of the scientific solutions and all. I mean, certain times you would be solving this problem, certain times you may come up with your own idea of launching a new product altogether, and that could be winning. So here in this case it's exactly has happened. As we realize that hardness of the water is a challenge, and therefore we came up with an idea of a shampoo which actually works on even hard water also. So this is an example why I have showcased is that it gives an understanding of how an idea can be taken to a product, but how you should be open to reiterate it, or maybe a kind of tweaking possible based on the consumer feedback. So this is a journey of an FMCG product. I would take you to how we take an idea to the commercial. So especially in case of D2C, which is what we call direct to consumer market, your product life cycle essentially is going to be very kind of short. I mean, max to max 6 months of time. So once you have an idea and you have certain plan of action to make it commercialized within 6 months of time. So how we do that is that once we have an idea, we first thing we do is to have an understanding on our competition. Now I have an idea of creating a financial app, and that would help me probably optimizing my spending. Okay, or maybe and another example could be that anything of on your domain you can think of. If you have an idea, and the first thing which we generally do in consumer business is that to understand the competition, whether is there any competitor in the market with the similar product or the similar idea and solving the problem. So that's the quickest learning which you can get even before implementing your idea, because end of the day you must be different than what others are solving. So if some solution is already exists in the market, then you cannot have a me to me, I mean me product kind of. I mean, you should be coming up with your idea which is giving you a better or better in terms of service, or maybe experience to the consumer. Otherwise, why someone should buy your idea or buy your product? So it's very much essential for you to that if you are coming up with a kind of product, and understand what your competition is doing, and understand what the competition product, how it is performing in the market. So it's very much important for us. Now, looking at those insights, you can design your product and make sure that your product is different. Your product is giving more benefit or more value to the consumer, and probably you would want to check with a couple of consumer or the friends or the family that how your product is different from others, right? And once you have that clarity, then you can go into a design phase or the develop phase. So design phase is essentially a prototyping. It need not be 100% correct what your idea into kind of product. It could be very much closer to your finished product, or maybe even to an extent 70-80% is also quite good for that. And look at the feedback, and rebuild your product or tweak your product to make it which actually needs to stand out from your competition. So the develop phase is something which you would identify, what's the product, how you are going to deliver that to the consumer, what kind of packaging you would be using, what kind of manufacturers you are looking at. I don't expect that we should also start with manufacturing, but it's always that you probably would want to reach out to the existing manufacturers, where use their premises, do the conversion charges or the manufacturing charges, and design your product. And then logistics, I mean, how you deliver this product to the target market or the target consumer, and look out the ways of delivering the product to the end user. And certain times in FMCG, with reference to FMCG, say for example, you have designed a baby product, so you can't immediately manufacture and or formulate and launch the product. You probably would want to take extra caution, that because this being given to a baby, probably you would want to see the safety point of view, double check your formulation, or to an extent that you would want to reach out to the consumer, reach out to the clinical analysis groups, and test your formulation with reference to the safety and regulatory point of view. And once you are happy about that, and then you can probably would manufacture and then launch the product. So these are key steps involved in taking an idea to design and then to manufacture to the commercial scale. So in this journey, what is very essential for us is to listen to the consumer. I mean, I would rather advise you to have a co-creation kind of thing, rather than on your own you are designing something and then giving it to the consumer. So in this journey, if I have to take the FMCG reference, what we also take care of is the regulatory guidelines, and there are certain bodies which they help you make sure to follow certain regulatory guidelines. So we comply to certain regulations in the market to give the trust factor to the consumer that we have followed regulations. We have been awarded the certification from them saying that our products are safe, and and this would also help you to promote your product in a way to give the confidence to the consumer your products are safe. As I said that there is a lot many regulatory bodies. Again, this is with reference to FMCG, but in your case, you probably would want to reach out to the regulatory bodies which are connecting to your area, and try to see that you are aware of those regulations. Say drone technology. So drones are something like, you have to be compliant to certain regulations. So you must be knowing what regulations are there in force with the authorities, and how you are going to comply to your product design, right? So in the design flow, essentially, if you think of, I don't expect that you would be following the same design flow for your idea to market, but rather how we do is that when we have an idea, then we evaluate the idea, as I said, that in terms of how rich this idea is, that and whether it is an existing product development or it's a new product development. So the two case exists, because if such products already available in the market and you would want to see how different your product is in terms of performance or efficacy, and if there is no such products available, then you would want to see the regulatory environment and whether you would be able to launch the product, and what is the benefit you are giving to the end consumer. And many a cases it so happen that once you have an idea, you immediately start prototyping. I don't think it is very much required at this point in time. When you have an idea, probably you put that in a kind of virtual grabs, maybe as if you have already created the product. You have design tools which you can shape the product virtually to showcase that to the consumer, and asking them if such products exist, whether they would be willing to buy. So it's about virtual prototyping, which helps you not to put too much of money and time into your idea, but it's about creating virtually and then asking and others to take the feedback whether if such products exist, that whether they would be willing to buy. So it's all about talking virtually and then taking the feedback. Is So I mean, accepting the feedback, and then and basically see what the feedback offers you in terms of innovation, and that brings you the product design part, so where the actual physical product prototype happens. And once prototyping happens, then that goes to a subsequent phases of activity like product development, and uh, once you are done with the product. So in your case, maybe if you have done some app, or probably would it's a beta phase which you call basically, you would give it out to your friends, and then ask them to use it, and then take a kind of feedback. So it's a product evaluation phase. And certain times where you happen to see the regulatory and quality framework, whether you comply to the regulatory aspects of it, and the product unit cost. So unit economics is so important for you to understand at this phase of activity, because when you come with a kind of a product and you want to push that product into the market, so you must be knowing that what is the cost associated with the product design. That could be for the product, or that could be for the ingredients which you would be using, or the raw materials you would be using, or that could be packaging design, or the manufacturing cost, your logistics, your margins, I mean, profit margins. And these are the points where you have to be aware of, and therefore unit economics are most critical and crucial for you to understand the success of your product in the market. Certain things are very specific when you are working on pharmaceutical products or biotechnology related products, where certain efficacy studies are very much required when it is associated with the humans or animals, or any living bodies where you want to test out the efficacy. Yeah, and we do certain clinical trials in that case, especially the topical pharma or pharmaceutical products. It's also about the product stability in the packaging. So here, in our case, what we do is that once, let's say shampoo. So shampoo is going on in a bottle, and the bottle is delivered to the consumer. So, but your product formulation is stable in that bottle, and at the kind of conditions which you are going to keep, the temperatures around and the humidities and all. You do consider that you simulate such situations in laboratory, and then find out whether your product is stable in such exposed conditions, which eventually helps you to pre-understand how the product is going to behave in the market for next 2 years or 3 years of its lifetime. And once you are ready with your idea, your prototype, and the product stability protocols and all, then you would be doing a technology transfer to the manufacturing unit, where it's not all about few products. It's all about the target market. You probably want to launch not for Bangalore. You probably want to launch for Karnataka, or maybe some other states, right? So your scale up is so important, and you multiply your products in such a way that you can cater to certain geographies. And I mean, that's how you actually do a kind of pilot launch over there to understand the success of the product, and then further you scale up to the other states. And as I said, that in this journey, it's not about a product. It's not also. It's also about the branding and marketing. So, with the kind of advancements which we have currently is, and everyone has a smartphone, and everyone are connected to Instagram and social media, and so marketing became so easy for us, in the sense, of course it has got its own challenges, but for a very new product, especially, it's very convenient for you to communicate what your product is all about to the consumer. You can even have a one-on-one conversations with the consumer, and take the product feedback after the launch. So and the insights from the consumer is so important for you to redesign or iterate your product. So your product life cycle again begins and goes back to the beginning, once you get the kind of feedback from the market. uh, so when I try to take you through a very simplified journey of an FMCG product, as I was telling you, that try to correlate the journey with your ideas, or maybe you must be working on certain certain concepts or certain ideas. I hope it would be helpful for you. Uh, I would also take you one important thing is that how you are going to map your ideas. See, you must be having 100 ideas, right? And which are so much exciting to you, and you would want you are actually or maybe in certain cases you don't know what to launch, or you are very passionate about starting something, or starting a business, or starting a startup or some kind of, but you really need to know that what product offerings which you want to give it to the consumer, or maybe where to start with, for example. So it's all about, certain cases works in a way, and I mean, in FMCG it would definitely work. What we call it as typically empathy mapping. So empathy mapping is to understand your user personas thoughts and feelings based on certain observations on the research. So I'll just give a very quick example, maybe that would trigger you to talk to your user persona and then take ideas from. Say for example, if you have asked your friends, or a group of people that what do you do and see when you get up in the morning, as a question. So then you start getting answers from them, and then you map it down, and all the insights or the rituals which people would do the moment they get up in the morning, and what are all the things they do around, and you just list it down, and then you map it, and you get answers like, someone would be reading newspapers, or maybe makeup, or breakfast, or sports, or meditation, or bathing and cooking and all. So you get to learn what actually your user persona is doing. I mean, when you put a question to them, and you start getting answers, and then you pull it all, and probably you list it down. As I said that this is with reference to FMCG, so you probably would want to ask relevant questions to your liking, or your expertise, and start getting a kind of answers, and then list them out and pull it them. And then what you need to do a kind of mapping, which what how we do is that, I'll just give you an example. So these are the ideas which I got, and then what we did is that we classified these ideas into things which you do consciously, and versus the rituals which you do in the morning, guys. So there are few things which you do at a low priority, because those are the activities which you regularly do, or there are certain things which you do with a very high, or highly conscious way of doing it, right? And there are few things which you do as a low activity, like the ablutions which you do, or maybe the high level of spiritual activities which you do. So the ideas which we have mapped, and if we can categorize between the conscious decisions, or the activities versus the ritual, you probably would be having summarizing them in a way that there are few things which you routinely do. I mean, like, say for example, bathing, brushing, breakfast, and these are the things which you regularly do. And there are few things which you do more consciously. I mean, you require your presence, you require and you must be knowing what you are doing. Okay. And say for example, you are cooking, you should be conscious about what you are doing. You are reading newspaper, you can't be absent-minded while reading newspaper, right? And maybe watching TV or dressing up. So you have activities which you would be doing consciously, and there are few things which you would be doing at a very highly spiritual level. I mean, maybe a prayer or something. And then there are few things which few of you must be doing highly conscious, and then soulfully doing, for example, yoga, meditation and all. So I mean, it's so easy for us now that what is that which we are going to solve. Say in this case, for example, I have taken I mean, few things are beauty conscious, as in few things are inner beauty conscious. I mean, so for example, if I take a category of activity, the bath experience, and now it gives me a kind of the journey of a consumer at home in the morning hours, and I can even probe further into a very focused set of questions. For example, if I take the bathing experience, and I can now go back and then see what kind of product innovations which I can make in that particular category. Say, for example, if the bathing, if you see, now you can go back and then see how actually the soap is evolved over a period of time. The simple product which they use is the soap, and the soap is not a very new thing for us, and it was in fact invented 5000 or 3000 BC. And how the innovation has happened. So innovation curve, if you see, the first industrial soap is reported in 1880, and the glycerin soap, what you call is as transparent soap, during 1940s or 50s. And then the pH neutral. There is a concept of saying that pH is very alkaline, and it is not good for the skin, and therefore the concept of the innovation of Dove has happened in 1950s, and liquid soap. And then chargers are very kind of recent inventions, where it has its own advantages over the conventional soap. So as I said that you have a pool of ideas, and then you categorize those ideas or the activities, and then you are trying to probe into a product wise exploration, to for you to understand what kind of innovations you can probably would be making further. So here in this case, I have taken an example of soap, but probably you would want to see a kind of tea, or coffee. So can you make certain innovations in this space, or maybe in sports, or maybe in cooking, or maybe in dressing up? I mean, or for that example, meditation. So why meditation is going to be so boring for some category of the people, and what kind of innovations you can make, or to tell them that the benefit of meditation, for example. So you can actually get an idea of where to invest your time and ideation process to come up with your own innovative ideas. So as I said that this is FMCG relevant, and probably you would want to make this kind of maps in your category or your expertise area, or which is relevant to your subjects, for example, right? So here the next question is that no, if we have to invent beyond, so after 1980s there is no much of innovations happened in this space. So now what that could be, if I have to come up with what could be the next generation cleansing agent which I can offer to the consumer. So if I have to invent something, then I must be knowing what problem I am solving. So this helps me out that to read, to understand each product's benefit and each product's challenge, and how I'm going to solve certain problems with my next generation cleansing agent. So what here in this case we have identified three problems. One is that your conventional soap is not safe to skin. The reason is that your soap has got high alkalinity, a pH of let's say 10 or 10.5, which eventually what it does is that it takes off your lipids, or it takes off your proteins from your skin, and eventually you end up having a dry or itchy skin, or irritated skin. Now, but we have been using this many kind of years. But what I'm trying to say is that there is an opportunity for us to look into our age old practices, and see what advantages we have, what disadvantages which we have with that product. The second is that each product comes with certain plastic packaging or wrappers or single use packs, we generally call. But there is a concept of sustainability which is coming in a very big way, saying that the kind of plastic pollution it is associated with, with environment. So whether if you want to design a next generation soap, for example, so how you are going to innovate your product which takes care of the environmental pollution. The third could be, it should be affordable. I mean, you can't give a robotic science to a simple soap to the consumer, and if that is not affordable, then there is no use of your innovation, or the kind of products which you would be doing. So these are three major points which we have identified, and then if we have to design a next gen soap, what that could be essentially must be fulfilling certain characteristics, like it should be skin friendly and zero plastic waste, affordable, 100% natural, and no preservatives. But as I said, that it's identifying the problem, and I'm not telling you the solution over here, but it is very much important for us to identify the problem, define your problem statement correctly, and then execution is something where eventually would happen, and but it is very much essential for us to write our problem statement correct and then move forward. So there are certain design tools would help you in shaping your problem statement, and also helps you in in giving you a kind of understanding how you are going to solve it. So design thinking is one of those human centric tool which always helps you, no matter whether it is an FMCG product, or it is a software product, or it is something a robotics, or any mechanical, or anything of that sort. These are the understanding, the tools which really help you in making your business ideas viable. The reason, because there are three major things which you are taking into consideration while making your idea commercialized, is that whether your there is a desirability, whether the people really want it, or is there is any technology available, and the technology is feasible, and when you make the product, whether it is viable. I mean, you would be making your product which is reasonably cost effective, and I mean, can the consumer I mean whether they can afford of taking your product or services. So so these are the tools which you probably would want to evaluate, and therefore we internally came up with a certain design. I mean, there's many design thinking models available there, out there, but I won't say which is good or which is I mean, bit challenging for you. But I would say that case to case base, you need to think that, I mean, how it is going to help you. But in our case, what we have designed is a kind of a butterfly model. I mean, I'm just putting you for you to see the journey of an NPD, which is a new product. So, what essentially this model contains, or typically you would be starting with a discover phase, where discover phase is nothing but you have an idea, or probably you have 100 ideas, which you believe that those are good ideas for you, and you cannot try to solve, or take make use of all the 100 ideas, and get into the kind of prototype phase. So it is very much needed for you that how you can shortlist your idea, and take that idea into next phase of activity. So discover phase is something where it helps you the idea. I mean, what ideas, or I mean, where these ideas come from. I mean, it's eventually come from the consumer, and you would be understanding the consumer need gaps, and you would also be understanding the market need gaps, and the new technologies which are coming up in the market. Say for example, AI. You can probably make use of AI and then make 100 things, but it doesn't mean that you will be making all 100 products out of it. So you need to know that if you take the advantage of AI, what kind of product you would be making, and I mean, that's what the discovery phase is all about. Now design is the second phase of activity where okay, you have an idea, and how you are going to design a product. For example, it could be a nano robot. Okay, nano robot which goes into your body and then do certain chemotherapy for it, or maybe neutralizing the skin or cancer cells, right? So it doesn't mean that you must be actually doing a prototype even before go to the next phase of activity. So it is very much essential for you to have some engineering diagram around it, how that robot is going to look like, what the size of it, what's the mechanism, how it is going to work. So you can have a 3D sketches, you can have 3D models, and run through it for the feasibility, how you would be able to do that, what kind of tools you probably, what kind of capabilities you require, whom to contact, where you need to get those designs. So this is where it helps you to get an idea for the next phase of activity. So once you know your 3D sketches and the models available, and then define, I mean, one final thing what you are going to solve out of that. I mean, you have to be very specific and define phase, and then focus on that delivery system. You must be having 4 5 design diagrams in that, but you should be focusing on one thing, one most important thing, and that is the define phase. Develop phase is the prototyping phase, where you now here you actually be doing that with the actual materials, and the technology which you must be using, and design prototype, which is with a MVP approach, minimum viable product approach. And you test that whether your product is working or not working, and this is the phase where the qual tests are very much required. So what essentially it means is that you would be giving it out to the end user, and then asking them to use. Once you have done you must be having maybe 1 unit or 5 units or 10 units, but how you are going to deploy in the sense like how, where you are going to scale that up, where you are going to manufacture it, how and a lot many things doing a kind of a scale up activity and deploy phase. Digitize is something which you very much nowadays required, that it's not just about doing innovations, it's also about telling others that we have done something, right? How your innovation is going to help others, right? And who is your target audience. And in certain cases your target audience could be the consumer, in certain cases the B2B, which is the business to business, who he is the your target company, or in certain cases maybe in organizations or self-help groups or anything of that sort. I mean, you must be targeting such groups by talking about your product, and make use of the digital space, and to communicate the benefits of your product and the functionality of your product. Deliberate is the utmost thing, where after the launch you must be knowing that what you did right and what you did wrong, and what are the gaps, and how you are going to deal that with. I don't expect, or no one should expect, that your first product is going to be winning and you making you money. It's essentially may not, and you may need to understand in certain cases, if at all failing is not a bad thing. Failing is very much essential for us, for you to evaluate your idea, and where you understand that once the product is launched, and you take the proper tools to reach out to the target group and then get the feedback and reinvest that feedback into discover phase. So you take those feedback back into your drawing table and then start building product. For example, iPhone is what? So every year you have new versions, and how that is essentially happening is that after the launch, so there's a lot much of feedback comes from the user community, and they make a note of it, and then put those feedback back into the product, and therefore you have the versions of products available in the market, right? So this is how the product journey happens when you are from idea to the kind of launch. I would rather take you through another case study. I mean, in relevance to what we are doing. Again, these case studies are very specific to liquid cubes. This is what we do, and therefore, I would take a couple of examples over there. So second case study, which I'm trying to put it over here, is that. So there are statistics available, recent statistics, and which are access to everyone, that every day there is a 2,000 garbage trucks full of plastic are dumped into oceans and rivers and lakes, right? And the plastic pollution is a big problem. It's a global problem, and whether you would be able to solve it. So I mean, idea can stem from anywhere. I mean, idea is not small or big. I mean, probably you must be thinking big all the time, right? And how you are going to solve this, and this metric tons of plastic, when it is released to the ecosystem, what the consequences of those, and you must be acting now, if you want to avoid such situations, and then how you are going to tackle this problem. Similar is the case is the water crisis. I mean, 26% of your population doesn't have even safe drinking water at this point in time, and then 46% of people lack access to the safety sanitation. And so it's a global problem, right? And probably you must be thinking whether if that is the situation and how you are going to solve it. And now the solution could be from your own expertise or from your own studies which you are doing now, and you can think of how you can use your expertise, or how can you use your knowledge, and to tackle such kind of global problems. So when we internally were having these discussions, the first thing came to our mind is that a crow story. I mean, a thirsty crow story, which everyone are aware of, that how it solved a problem, whether it couldn't reach to the water, right? So it started adding the pebbles to the jar, and therefore the once the water rises, and then it take it and it took it, and then that's how the story goes. But now, if I mean, can I take that a kind of sustainable story to build in my own brand? And therefore, we came up with a brand like Happy Crow, where it essentially talks about the sustainability, how we are going to solve global problems. For example, the motto is simple, like I mean, there's many activities which we can think of, and then try to have our own perspective, and how we can solve those problems. Some of those I have listed down for you, like for example, you can think of smart agriculture or eco water solutions, where you can optimize the usage of water. You need not irrigate or give a kind of excess irrigation to the crops which you are cultivating, and probably would want to optimize the usage of water. So you have a reach of AI, you have a reach of IoT, and you make use of sensors in a way that a farmer can optimally use water resource, which are very very valuable, and therefore he can get benefit out of it. So you can use the technology in a way that how you can solve a bigger problem. And probably you can think of water conserving technologies, and wherein for example, if you ask me in FMCG, I can think of some waterless options. So how can you take a bath without using water, for example? That could be a very uh, surprising thing, but there are possible technologies around it, where without water you can actually take a bath. Likewise, the green technology. So how can I minimize carbon emissions, right? And as I said that, and another areas could be how can I avoid using of harmful chemicals. So there are substitutes of natural and organic ingredients available, where I can make use of that to avoid the synthetic or the petroleum or fossil fuel related ingredients. Likewise, I think this is the initiation we have made to address global issues. Why I have given this example is that this is how you also should look into your areas of studies, and try to, so, I mean, identify what the bigger problem which you can solve. I mean, it's not just about making a small product and then try to sell it off. I mean, sell it out and do marketing and sell it. But it's about solving certain bigger issues, which gives you a global exposure to you, and it also, I mean, such kind of technologies, if you are willing to, and there's a lot much of benefits you do get from global organizations, and watch out those what where you can connect, and then what kind of help you can get from them, and so as a product innovation, what while we are mapping the global issues, we also started how can I immediately do something which has got an impact. I say one of the pain points which we have identified is the domestic water consumption. Now you would be surprised to know that on an average, you are using almost like 300 to 400 liters per house per day. I mean, the per capita consumption roughly around 100 liters per day. I mean, you won't realize that much of water we are utilizing every day, and out of that, I mean, 20% of it, roughly around 20-30 liters of it, you are just using for washing your hands. So, whether is there any solution for us to minimize the water? I mean. Wastage over here, and now when you have that, and then you must be having many ways of solving it. Many ideas would come out of it. Either probably, if I'm an FMCG scientist, I would immediately think of how can I make a product which helps them not to use too much of water. Probably I would design a product, a bathing bar, or the soap which takes less water consumption. So likewise, in your area, where you can think of what could be do you doing to minimize the water consumption. I'm just giving an example because it need not be your interest, but I said that this is how we identify the situations, and then try to innovate around it. So for us, I think, as I said that, we are the startup, and we are the startup for other startups. Rather, I mean, what we essentially do is that we help other startups to build their products, and we make these products in a way where we understand the innovation, in a way where we understand the consumer. And in last 3 years, we have done products launched in the market which are 100% natural, biodegradable. We started with home care products, where we didn't use any fossil fuels like the petroleum derived ingredients, which we designed products which are 100% safe to the environment. And we also design products with a deep sciences, deep skincare ingredients, or deep skincare or hair care. We also customize products for the skin hair type. I mean, hair type. Probably, if I have a curly hair, why would I be using a regular shampoo? So why can't I use a product which is meant for me? And that's how we identified this gap with some of the consumers, and then we said that why can't we have a customized product for a particular hair type. We know Ayurveda, and everyone knows Ayurveda, and how I can make use of Ayurvedic literature and Ayurvedic practices, and infuse it with the modern science. That's where the products have been launched. Whether I can have technologies developed around infant skin. Infant skin is something where you require a lot much of attention. You also require a lot much of understanding on the safety of the products, and then can we design products which are ultra mild for them, and which takes care of the skin health. And we also design technologies around on the sustainability, and many more such innovations are happening. Ours is a very small group. We have 4 5 people now, and we are growing, and we are taking certain technologies and certain initiations further. And if you have any things in mind, you need any help, you can reach out to Professor Ajay, or you can reach out to me, and happy to have conversations with you. And we are so happy to help you build your own ideas if at all you have anything. And in case of any of your product journey, you need any help from us, we are also open to a kind of paid internships. You can talk to Professor Ajay. I'll share the details with him. If you want to experience the product journey, you are always welcome. You can be part of our team. You can learn, and you can build your ideas into the market. Thank you so much having me, and it's open to any kind of discussions. Anything you have, any questions, queries, which we can discuss now.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
There are few questions.
Yes, Professor.
Students wants to know more about your products.
Okay. My products in the market.
Yes.
Professor
Is
Ajay,
there a way that you can
what,
display some of your products because you were trying to find it on the internet?
no, see, as I said, that we are the startups. We are the startups for other startups. So we don't have products on our own, which we are coming with the sustainable products. But we have launched few products for other brands. Which should I share my screen for? I
Yes, it is.
may take all the products because those are with certain confidentiality. But I can take you through certain products, so you would understand what kind of products which we have made. For example, this is the brand which we were telling you. So this is something where if you know your hair type, it would tell you that what kind of products which you probably would want to use. If you have a straight hair, so there's a product which are meant for straight hair. I hope you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you have a wavy hair, and you have products available in the market which takes care of your wavy hair. Likewise, so I mean, this is only one of the brands. We are now currently connected with 20 plus brands, where we are. What we do is that we design the entire R&D for them, and they take the products further, and then do the market on their own. I mean, this is basically they are outsourcing their R&D to us, and we help them in designing these products.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. There is one more question from student. He wants to know, is it recommended to have a research experience before starting one's business?
Absolutely not. It's not required at all. What probably you require is a bit of common sense, and you must be knowing. I mean, see, the idea what you have should be a kind of winning idea, and it should be solving a bigger problem, and have more clarity on ideation phase is utmost important. See, what happens, with the startups is that I have seen many startups in this FMCG space who are basically mechanical engineers, or few of them are, not relevant to any of this industry. Few of them are electronic engineers who started the brands, and start selling. So it doesn't mean that they are aware of the skin science or hair science. It's about how you are going to navigate your idea, how what are your leadership skills, because idea is something where you should be owning, and then you end of the day pull all the resources which you required. So what essentially you require is, of course, the understanding of the domain what you are playing with, but you have people around it and make use of their expertise. So you being a student doesn't mean that you cannot hire a person who has got 10 years experience. It's obviously it's in your reach, right? And you can hire a person who is good at that particular domain, and then test your idea. And you need not be a scientist or an R&D expert in making that product successful.
Okay, sir. Sir, there is one more question. When there are similar products in the market, and when their features are also very much similar, then how will one be successful in his new idea or his new business? And is there a way to compete with major companies?
So, I mean, if I understood your question right, and you are trying to ask me that how you are going to product be different than the existing product. So, this is exactly what I was also referring. Now, if you want to launch a shampoo in the market, so there are 100 brands available in the market. So, how your shampoo is going to solve a problem? I mean, how why someone should buy your product, and how you are going to be different from others. So I mean, this is what the ideation phase is all about. I mean, you understand your competition, you understand your competition products, you understand what they are lacking. uh, I mean, if you can bring a new technology altogether, and if you can make a successful prototype around it, and that's where your USP is all about. Say, for example, if you are designing a shampoo, and I think the recent innovation is all about using products which actually uh, you know. Uh, I'll give. So if you are doing a hair color, and obviously it is a synthetic molecule. Now, is there any way where you can do a shampooing, and during the process itself it dyes your hair naturally, not chemically? Now, I don't think any products exist that way. Now, if you have a solution around it, you can. That's what your winning equation is. That's how you are different from the market. That's how you are going to differentiate your product from the pool of other competition. So, what is not offered by competition is most important. So, at that point in time, you get to know the gap, but you don't know whether there is a technology available or not. And then there's a phase you connect to the research groups, or you solve that with your own expertise, and come with your own USP. Unique selling proposition, unique selling point is most important for you to push your product or your innovation into the market. See, this is what the difference between entrepreneurship and the which is and a startup which has got innovative idea. Entrepreneurship is that you need not be having an innovative idea, but if you know how to do a business, you can be a businessman. But what startups is all about is that how, I mean, not only making money, but at the same time, what problem you are solving, and what the magnitude of the problem you have tackled, and how this is going to be different. I mean, that's kind of analysis you need definitely before venturing into any kind of business activity.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. We don't have any more questions, sir.
Okay.
So I'd like to thank you on behalf of the entire NHC and the Department of EC. I would like to thank you for this wonderful talk, and we also hope that we can have this type of session in the near future. Thank you once again, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Professor Ajay. Thank you to all students. I wish you all the very best in your journey.
So if it is possible, can you share these slides, whichever slides
I,
are possible to share?
yeah, yeah, I do that.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir.
ఆర్షి పూడతాం దోస్